Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to reply. Mr. Speaker, when I brought this bill, the majority leader did complain that we did not need this bill. Mr. Speaker, the essence of the bill, I think, was lost in partisanship because, Mr. Speaker, when I brought this initial bill in 2018-19, it has gone round to the Budget Committee. It went to the Finance Committee twice.
The Honorable Dawood, I have to be very clear on something. You said this bill was lost. We have not lost any bill yet. You are actually moving the last bit. So I want you to reply.
Mr. Speaker, it was not lost on the floor of the House. It was lost in the committees because it took more than 3 years to... Well, my colleague says it was misplaced, but in the process, it finally made it here. And, Mr. Speaker, when I said the Parliamentary Budget Office, when they came to the Finance Committee and the Budget Committee, they recommended, because with this bill in place, the savings culture in this country will improve. And they even said that the money to the exchequer will be more than what they are getting at the moment. Mr. Speaker, when I first initially proposed it from 100 to 1 million, it was not just out of the blue. Mr. Speaker, when Chase Bank went down, the governor of the central bank raised it to 1 million, what can be given out. And Mr. Speaker, that was the basis, because 100,000 in 1989 is not the same as 100,000 in 2021. So that is why, Mr. Speaker, when they did a regulation by KDIC, did a regulation to raise it to 500,000 in 2020, that does not suffice because a regulation can be withdrawn at any particular time. And that is why I have put it at 1 million. Mr. Speaker, like I said last time, this is an insurance. Now it is risk-based. And if we are so sure that KDIC and the central bank is doing up to their job, then they should do more supervision so we don't have banks falling. And then they will not be using that money because they have got more than 130 billion in deposits at the moment, which have been deposited by as insurance from the banks which are concerned. So, Mr. Speaker, with this, I beseech my colleagues that we pass this bill because there is nothing wrong with it. It is just going to assist our people when a bank falls. Mr. Speaker, at the moment, as we are talking, up to now, the liquidation of Imperial Bank has not been completed 6 years down the line. Chase Bank took some people took a hit, and even the committee members of finance. I am surprised because the first report they did for pre-publication of this bill, they gave it a thumbs up. But in the second report, they said it will not work because it's going to incur a lot of expenses and we cannot afford it. So, Mr. Speaker, I beseech my colleagues, because this is for our people who have got money in the banks, because we cannot say 100,000 or 500,000. Somebody who's got more than 500,000, where does he go? Or where does he or she go? So, Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I would want to Mheshimiwa Mili wanted to say one or two words, if she can be allowed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.